and welcome to another brand new episode of the Top 10. I am John Roca.
And I am Matt Nost, and we are here to bring you another week of top 10 action.
Yeah,
How are you, sir?
I'm good. Good. The NFL free agency is in full swing. All kinds of shit is happening. Movies are starting to come out, Matt. COVID is apparently over. I don't know if you know this, but everything's going back to normal is what I've been told.
Hopefully, sooner rather than later. Don't know that for a fact, but sorry, I need to return a text really quickly.
Okay. All right.
Sorry, that's what I was distracted with for half a beat there.
That's all right. Happens. Trying to lock down John Williams on Settle the Score. I respect that. I respect a guest appearance by John Williams.
Trying to explain the Zoom function of it. It's been rough.
He's 91. What do you want? Don't ask too much of him, for God's sake. He should have an assistant who's able to do this, for God's sake. Come on.
You would think so, but...
Come on, Johnny. Come on, Johnny.
You still have to explain the technology to him.
My friend has been on a Zoom call with John Williams. He recorded a snippet of it and sent it to us because to him, he was like pinching himself. And John Williams was listening to some music that someone else had done of his work, a version of his work, and hearing his watching his reaction was incredible. So I have that video saved on my phone just in case I ever need it.
Have you ever seen the video of the guys that show up to his house and start playing the Star Wars theme?
Get the fuck out of here. No, I've never seen that. Really?
They're on the sidewalk. It's two brass. So one's a trumpet, and I think the other one is a French horn. I can't remember. I remember the trumpet.
What?
But they start playing the ba 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 da da,
what?
And it's going through the whole thing, and then eventually he comes outside.
Wow!
Somebody's taping from like the next block over or something. Like a friend of theirs, hey, go stand over there so you're not right up on him. If he does, but get a shot of us outside of his house.
Oh, I see it. Yeah, here we go. It's like 1:35.
Yeah.
Oh wow! It's like the AP. They're just sitting up there in front of the I don't know. I suppose a piece of me would be like, I'm trying to watch something on Netflix, for God's sakes.
Yeah, but at the same time, like that's got to be pretty fun. You're just sitting at home, and then all of a sudden you hear one of your pieces.
Yeah. Apparently, he comes out, huh?
Wow. Yeah, he comes out towards the end and like shakes their hand, and
that's insane.
I think that's where the video ends.
Wow.
Oh, by the way,
that's very nice of him.
Way back when we were talking about Jason Statham, and I told you, I was like, oh, he's in the Right Said Fred, I'm Too Sexy video. And then we looked it up and we couldn't find it.
Yeah.
So when we did our Jason Statham, I forgot to mention this. I found the video that he's in. Just Google Jason Statham music video and you'll see it. It's this weird, I don't know who the band is, but he is superimposed like, shitty editing from the late 90s. Just dancing shirtless, all oiled up.
Wow.
Yeah.
So the movie this is on Reddit, so I hope I don't get in trouble here. Oh my God, that is weird. He's all oiled up with leopard speedos, cheetah speedos.
Yeah, and he just like is gesticulating towards the camera, dancing around a lot, and it's the same moves kind of over and over again, but he's up in the sky while whoever the lead singer is or the artist of this is. It's a weird fucking video.
You got to start somewhere, for God's sakes.
Yeah, I don't. I don't fault him for that. It's a job.
Coming on by the Shaman is what the name of the thing is. Wow, that is.
Yeah, I knew I'd seen that. Wow, but I forgot to mention it when we did the What If Jason Statham show.
Right.
That I looked it up again. I was like, it does fucking exist. I'm not crazy.
Well, you're getting older, man. Things are.
I thought it was Right Said Fred. I mean, it has that vibe a little bit-ish.
Yeah, you're not wrong there.
But the music is totally different.
The song itself came out in 1993. So when was Lockstock? Was that 97?
96 or 7, somewhere in that ballpark.
Yeah, so he's not even like a somebody yet. That came out in 98. Shit. Okay. So he, you gotta work. Yeah. You can't fault him.
No, not in the slightest. Who cares?
Young. He's in great shape. Yeah.
It's the same as when you see those commercials
Yeah.
from, any actor with long before they became huge and be like, dude,
Yeah.
that's a good job. Especially back in the day. If you got a national in
Yeah.
whatever the 80s or 90s, man, that thing paid
Oh, yeah.
crazy well.
You could live off 3 nationals and buy a house back then. You could
Yeah.
absolutely do that back then.
Yeah.
Nowadays, 3 nationals will get your rent for the next couple of months. It's a shame.
Yeah. It just depends
Yeah.
how much they air it. I haven't seen the new contract because I don't go out anymore.
Yeah.
But it's nowhere near. I mean, the money changed while I was working.
Yeah. Yeah.
It went from pretty excellent to, hey, this isn't bad.
Yeah.
I'm not complaining. It's free money, as a friend of mine once described it. It's mailbox lottery.
Yeah. Yeah.
You just go down there and suddenly you got a check for 5 figures, and you're like, this is pretty fucking sweet. I'm gonna go deposit this, and then I don't have to worry about rent for a few more months.
That's what my managers couldn't understand. We kind of parted ways earlier this year because my managers were all about like, this needs to be the most important thing. And it's like, for what? For you want me to spend all this time preparing for an audition that'll pay me $5,000, which the government will take what 1,000 to 1,500 of it. Then you'll take your 10 to 15% of it.
Yeah,
And
of
by
the
the time,
pre-tax amount.
yeah, the pre-tax amount. And by the time it's over, what am I, getting out of it all? And all this for the drama and then driving and then recording multiple times and
Mhm.
fuck that. Whatever I lose out on, I'm happy to make up on doing what we're doing here, doing what I do with all those shows, getting the commercials on my and the sponsorships on my other stuff. I'd rather focus on that than fucking put
Yeah.
myself through the grinder of all that nonsense. And so we eventually parted ways because they didn't see it from my point of view, and I didn't. They didn't like it that they weren't as important to me as they wanted me to be, them to be in my life. So
Uh, It's like the people that as soon as I was eligible to join the union, I
yeah,
joined the union. So I
sure,
didn't have to do those shitty non-unions because I booked a number of those, and it's audition, callback, days fitting, days shoot,
yeah,
pays $1,800. And you're like, okay, well, by the time I pay taxes and my agent takes a cut,
yeah,
I'm making like $800 for 4 days
right,
of work. How does this make sense?
yeah,
It's not like it's bad money, but it's like, okay, but that 800 then takes me off I can't go out and audition for other things that actually
right,
pay, because
right,
it's not like you book these. It's one thing. It's like, it's 800. It ends up being $200 a day, and you're booking to where technically it's $200 every day. Sure.
right, right.
But it's not.
No, no. And now the non-union stuff is the stuff that pays more than union for a lot of
Yeah. You get the
people.
buyout.
Yeah, you get the buyout. So, but the buyout means you're paying more taxes on it because it's all coming at once as opposed to a little bit at a time. So the hit is larger. So yeah, it's all that stuff, and
Yeah.
I hate it. I'm very glad I'm not in it anymore. To be honest, doesn't mean I won't, but I'd have to find the right manager or the right agent that's cool with just taking what they help me book and cool with me doing what I'm doing in my life right now with all these shows and everything else. So
Yeah.
as long as they're cool with that, then they can be my agent or my manager.
With a
Uh,
shift to Zoom
mm,
auditions
yeah,
would make it easier. But the only way I'd come back is if I was still SAG. And technically, I haven't paid my dues in 3 years or something, two
yeah,
years.
yeah,
So I don't even know if that's remotely possible.
yeah.
If you have to stay in good standing, or now I need to go back out and book a couple of union jobs to then rejoin.
Oh, right. Yeah, that's right. And then you'd have
Yeah,
to pay like probably over 2 grand now to rejoin.
I would assume well over 2 grand.
Yeah, yeah, probably right.
And just like, well, okay, well, I'm not doing non-union unless the payday is good enough.
Yeah.
Uh,
They sent me the bill last 2 weeks ago, 2 or 3 weeks ago, and I'm on the fence about whether I'm going to pay it or not for the dues.
yeah, I
Because
let
it's,
mine lapse. I'm just
yeah,
like, I'm
I'm
not
like,
going out anymore. Why am I paying to be part of a union that I don't
exactly.
take advantage of? And actually, it doesn't work for me.
Yeah. And if I
Like,
book a big union gig, then I can say to them, well, this is the deal. So can you add the union fee to what you're going to pay me so I can pay to get back into the union so I can do this job? If you want me this much, are you willing to do this extra bit and maybe I can work out that deal if that ever happens. So.
They gotta love you.
Yeah, exactly. They gotta love you, right?
Yeah,
And that's what I was waiting for because that's what.
which means they're gonna go to whoever's on avails and
Great.
be like, "Hey, our first guy dropped out."
Yeah, knock yourselves out. Could care
Yeah.
less. I could care less.
It's just how many of those are you gonna do? Okay, I'll book it before your agency drops you.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, no thanks.
But that's what I mean. I have to have an agent or manager who understands that. Too many times, actors are slaves to those agents and managers, and it's like, fuck that nonsense. Anyway,
Yeah, they work for you.
yeah, exactly.
That's what you need to. Although it's easier to say that once you actually made some money.
Well, yes and no, because you got to have that attitude from the beginning. If you really believe in your talent,
Yeah.
you've got to be willing to put it all on the line and be clear about what you will and won't take and what you will and won't deal with. And if you're clear about that, most agencies actually respect that because they know the kind of person you are. Whereas if you're the kind of person that is half and half about it, or is, yeah, I'll totally do everything, and then you kind of flake or do whatever, then they can't rely on you. But if you're the person who's like very clear about what you'll do, and then when you book that thing, you do exactly what you said you're going to do, then they know what they have in you, and they can at least like put you firmly on the shelf in some way and know what they've got with you, which is all they ever really want. So
Yeah. But wow, all they ever really want is for them to say jump and you say how high. That's what they really want.
Ultimately want, yes.
Yeah.
Very true.
We're going to send you on every audition that we can get you in the hopes that we can get 10% of every available job in the world. We don't give a fuck about your time.
Why did you submit me on
Yeah.
an African?
Numerous projects. And you're like, I am not right for this. Why am I here?
Yeah.
Well, you could be the one person that they're, you never know. You never know. Okay.
Yeah. They
All
sent
right,
me
I
out
do
on
know.
but they sent me out on a hair loss one, and I'm like, but I don't have any hair loss. What the fuck? Or what was the one I said? Oh, way back when they sent me out on one when I turned 40 or just in my early 40s. They were like, yeah, we're gonna send you out on an erectile dysfunction one, but they want you to have gray hair. And I go, but I don't have gray hair. Like, well, can you get a bottle and spray your hair gray? I'm like, are you fucking insane? Are you fucking stupid? I was just like, go fuck yourself, man. So
Yeah, I never did any of that.
yeah.
Hey, you need to wear a lab coat. What? It's not happening. The people that had like a trunk full of costumes to put on, it's like
the police uniform, the whole
Yeah.
nine. Yeah, the
Dude, get the fuck
construction
out of
guy.
if you can't visualize me as this, I don't want the job.
And even if they book the job, right? This is the life. You're just walking around getting all this shit. And how many of those people actually end up happy by the time the grind
who
is over?
knows?
I don't think
Yeah.
there are that many. I really don't.
And I've heard from friends that work in casting, and they're like, yeah, but sometimes it really does help to see. And I'm like, I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. I'm not going to go out and buy a bunch of costumes to wear to auditions. It's just, this is all pretend in a room. And if you can't pretend a uniform on top of me, well, that's your fucking fault, not mine.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that shit is annoying as hell.
It's super annoying, man.
Yeah, the only reason I would go back is just like, well, if the Zoom things, man, that's an easy payday.
Yeah.
But
those are happening more and more, but I don't know if that's going to start. That's going to now be the permanent way of doing things, the Zoom auditions and stuff. I don't know.
yeah, I would imagine they go back to what it was before.
Right.
Because that's the way it's always been, and people are conditioned to that, and they're paying rent on warehouses in Santa Monica, for Christ's sake.
Yeah, for that stuff.
Yeah. Or that one on what is it? 3rd in La Brea, right next to the Lamps Plus.
Oh, yes, that one. Yes, the upstairs one.
Yeah. That place is massive.
It is 9 separate rooms, man.
Yeah. And it's just a huge holding area with, and you'll see the completely different castings going on.
Yeah.
But a couple hundred people in there spread out over the 9 rooms.
Yeah. I hated it, man. I hated all of that shit. Especially when you got paired up with someone who doesn't know you. And they give you that look like, oh, no, I'm not going to book with this guy. I always hated that fate. Like whenever oh, God, the shit of all of that shit. It drove me nuts when you get that one person who's like desperate to book. And they try to kind of, I've had this happen a couple times. I'm not the best looking guy. I'm not the best in shape guy. So these girls sometimes would get paired with me and they would look at me and be like, oh, I'm not going to book with this. And they would try to get themselves moved to someone else who was skinnier or more attractive. or whatever. And I saw it twice. It happened to me, dude, and it put the fucking bitter anger inside of me, man, because I just was so like, oh my god, I'm trying to book like you are, not
Yeah.
what makes you think you're better than I am as an actor, actress, and you have no idea what chemistry we have. So it's that kind of shit, man. That I hate to deal. It's like going back to high school, It fucking triggered so much when I went through that. I hated it. Hated it.
Yeah, I don't recall having experienced any of that, but I also didn't give a shit while I was there.
That's a fair point. That's the gift.
Yeah, I didn't move here for that. So it was like, okay, well, this is a nice little side bonus. And I know a bunch of comics that book commercials and they got me into this. So
Right.
it could be an easy revenue stream.
It's
And
true.
that's all I looked at it as. Whereas actors, it's like, well, this is your job.
Right.
So you have different expectations as to what the experience could be. And I just wanted each one, like I was there, I did my job,
Yeah.
but I was also like, well, I'm ready to go.
Yeah.
So if you guys don't want to see me, I don't give a shit unless I really drove pretty far.
Right. Oh God.
But
Yeah.
by and large, most of the places I lived in Silver Lake, so most of the places are not too bad. It's the ones in Santa Monica. It's just like fuck.
Oh yeah.
Depending on what time of day.
The Santa Monica at 5 o'clock audition or 4 o'clock
Yeah,
audition.
on Fridays.
Yeah.
And you're like, well, I'm having dinner in Santa Monica. Turns out.
Sure.
Yeah, I started a tradition with a friend of mine who lives down in Venice. So
Oh, nice.
yeah, when I had those, I just hit him up, and if he was around, we just go get dinner. So we do it to this day of. I'll hit him up every couple months and be like, "Oh, come down, we'll do some dinner."
Yeah.
But
The Ocean
yeah,
Park Boulevard one. Yeah.
Yeah, Ocean Park Boulevard, Kathy Knowles.
Kathy Knowles. Yeah.
Right down off of what was that, 6th Street?
Yes.
And then there was one. If you took 6th Street down to where the train lands, there was like one over in there.
Okay. I'm sure I've been there.
Yeah. And then there was that one above Hooters.
Oh God. That was a bitch because you had to figure out parking.
Yeah.
And then you had to figure out that place was like up the stairs and around.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that was
I walked into Hooters and was like, "Do you know where this is?" The first time going, and they're like, "Yeah, right up the stairs."
I wish they get that all the time.
Although that was the first place. I think I told you this, but it was a long time ago. It was like the second audition I went there for. I only did like 4 or 5 there.
Yeah.
But the casting director was Jonah on Veep.
Oh, wow.
The tall guy.
Yeah, the tall dude. Yeah.
But it was for it was Shell or BP or something like that. But it was a gas station spot, and it was using. The gist of it was they put new credit card readers at the pump.
Yeah.
It was like, how convenient is this type of thing? And they were all jazzed about it. And he ended up booking the spot that I was there to read for, but he was running the casting. And that's when I learned like, oh, they could do that. And then I saw it happen a few other times and was like, oh, they're actors. I don't give a shit.
Yeah. Most of them guard that ability, that job zealously. They guard the sessions because they think that they're the ones who are going to book it, get an easier way to book it.
Well, plus it's an easy job.
Yeah, true. Very true.
I mean, not saying that there isn't some skill in that. There is, but it's not like it's back-breaking work. So,
and some of them will actually help you, and some of them won't.
Yeah,
depends on the situation.
Yeah, no, good casting director makes a world of difference.
Yeah. I always hated getting the positive reaction and then not booking the job. I always hated that. I was like, well, what the fuck's the point, man?
Well, just because they liked it in the room doesn't mean the director and ad agency liked it. So
right. Well, it's always nice to book the room. Definitely. If anybody's listening to us who's an up-and-coming actor, always book the room and worry about everything else that you can't control. Don't worry about anything else that you can't control, but you should always book the room.
Well, half the jobs I ever booked, I didn't use the script in front of the director and ad agency.
Wow, you just kind of improv or ad lib.
Just kind of use that as a jumping off point, and then kind of like went off of the other actor, whatever's reaction, and then just kind of played around. And
makes sense. That's smart. It's a gift I did not, a skill I did not have. I was not trained in that stuff. So,
I just did it once and got really positive feedback from the room, and I was like, oh, okay. And then tried it thereafter, and it worked. Sometimes it's like you need to stay on script. Like, I get it.
Yeah, right.
It's like there is no deviation. You can fucking tell. And then other ones are like, this seems like it's pretty loose.
I feel like I can do what I want here. I feel
Yeah,
like I mean,
kinda. Like you just get the vibe. Like,
of
oh, this
course.
is a commercial about, whatever, and be like, they can't be taking this too seriously. So, whereas if you go in for like Prudential or something,
Oh yeah,
look, this is you gotta hit the beats of this.
this is important. This
Yeah,
is
or
very
State
important.
Farm or whatever. It's like this is about insurance, and there is, although
Yeah.
those ads got a little more fun, but still.
Yeah.
Anyway, speaking of actors,
Good, good segue. Good segue, man. Please take it away.
so this week, it's another kind of uh idea out of not thin air, but instead of
Yeah,
just going like best movies about X or Y or whatever, the upcoming movie Lost City has Sandra Bullock and Channing Tatum.
yeah,
And we were
yeah.
like, that's an interesting pairing.
Right,
And then it just got us thinking of, all right, can we come up with any other interesting pairings of male and female actors and actresses
right.
and just throw them into movies that we had to create a new movie and a log line for said movie.
Yeah,
But that was the blueprint of it. It's just like, okay, we have the female actress in Sandra Bullock and the male actress or male actor rather in Channing Tatum.
right.
What else can we come up with using that as the framework? So that's our jumping off point for today. So that's our goal is to come up with 10 pairings and 10 movie pitches. I can't imagine we're going to have any crossover.
Who can say? Who can
Yeah, the group mind on this, if we actually do, would be incredible. But so yeah,
Mhm.
um,
Yeah.
that is the starting. I got the response on the text that I just sent out. So
Oh,
I
okay,
just
okay,
looked
okay.
down and read it, and they were like, "Yeah, I just had that happen to me too." Like, okay, good. I'm not crazy on this. Please help.
It's above the Hooters, and this happened
It's
to me.
shit. So it's the stair. Okay, and the stairs, and then around. Gotcha.
Will you be here
Uh,
when I'm done? Because I'd like to come back and talk to you.
that place. It
uh,
was the first time it ever happened to me where I went in for the audition, and then I was out of town for a family event. My
yeah.
agent knew I was going to be gone,
Right.
but the callback was when I was out of town, and I told him, I was like, "I'm sorry, man, I'm gone," and he
Yeah.
knew it too. And then I got a call back a few days later and was like, "Well, the director really liked your tape originally, so you're on avails if the first guy can't do it."
Wow.
And I was like, "Oh, okay." I didn't know that was possible.
Yeah.
I didn't book the job, but it's like, "Oh, okay, that's pretty cool."
Nice to be on a veil, though.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. The one that chapped my ass the most, I was almost the face of the post office.
Oh,
That
wow.
generic white guy that was the
Yeah.
face of the post office for like
Oh,
6 years.
man. Yeah.
Yes, I was fucking
Oof.
second place on that.
Oof.
Yeah, that would have been a nice payday. That
Yeah.
would have been a really nice payday.
Yeah.
It's not quite Flow from Progressive, but it would have been good money
Yeah.
for years on end.
Oof. Damn.
Yeah,
That would have been nice.
that would have been nice. What are you gonna do?
It's life.
The guy that got it did a great job. Good for him. I
Yeah.
don't care.
Shout out.
Hopefully, he's an actor and that fulfilled some ambition of his, and his family was happy. And who cares?
There you go.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I guess it's Matt. This is the way the show works. We each go our separate ways, come up with our top 10 list. We come back. Matt does the first three. I do my next three. Then we do the next two. And Matt does the next two. Matt does the next two. I do the next two. Then we take a break. And then in our top fives, we just go trading back and forth 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. At the end, we put the list together. There you go. So, Matt, start us off. What do we got here at 10?
Okay, so I'm sure you
it.
had some trouble with this, like I did.
Oh, God. You yes.
Yeah. I created a list of actors and a list of actresses, and then just kind of sat and stared at them. I was like, okay, what pairings can I come up with that are interesting,
Yeah,
or unique? And also the goal of this was to put people together that we hadn't seen on
yes,
film.
right.
We may have screwed that up, but it was part of the goal. I don't know if it was a hard and fast rule, but it was like, hey, try and come up with duos that we've never seen.
Yes,
as well. So that. My 9 and 10, I'm not actually 8, 9, and 10. It's like, I think the pitches need work,
okay.
to be perfectly honest. I think after that, I really hit a groove, especially like 6 through 1.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah, pat on the back here. But I
Of
think
course.
there's some decent movies in there.
Okay.
So at 10, I've got Idris Elba and Tilda Swinton.
Ooh.
So boots on the ground Idris and grand vision impresario Tilda run a covert assassin boutique shop for high-end yet discreet clients until one day on a job they realize they've been set up and now must determine which of their clients decided to do them in.
Wow.
So I'm thinking like Tilda can be there on the scene, but also is behind, like helping planning and all that. And then Idris is more of the face of the operation, out there kind of smooth and suave. And I was just like, this is an unlikely duo. What if X and Zephyr, whatever the fuck that was called,
Yeah.
was actually any good? I never saw that movie. I just know it was trash.
Yeah.
But that is my pairing. I'm not 100% sold on it. I think it needs work, to be perfectly honest.
I like it. It's a good combo. It's a good combo of people. Very strong English actors, so I'm down.
They're both really good actors.
Yeah, I agree. They're
So I
phenomenal
think if
actors.
you craft a strong enough screenplay, this could work. But I also could interchange quite a few people. There's a number of individuals that I wanted to fit into these, but I just couldn't find a pairing that sparked an idea in my head between them.
Yeah.
And in this one, I think Tilda is the odd person out.
Yeah.
But I also like the fact that they are just such polar opposites.
Yeah.
That it could hypothetically work in the context of this.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay. I like the idea.
There could be something there.
Can I ding you for them being in Infinity War together? I don't think I can. Because they're not the leads. They're not the leads.
Yeah, they're not the leads, and he's out in 7 seconds.
Yeah, he is out in 7 seconds.
And she's only in it for like a minute and a half, 2 minutes, like talking to Ruffalo.
Yeah. Well, actually, that's an Endgame, so she's not Infinity War.
Oh, that's true. There you go.
So yeah, I think you're good. I think you're safe. Yeah, I don't see her. I'm looking at the cast. I was thinking she might be in it, but she's not. So there you go. All right, that's a nice choice. All right, what's your? Obviously, it's not a pairing I have. So what's your 9?
Yeah. So there's no punt there.
No, I feel like I let you keep going. So no, there's no punt there.
Okay.
Go
Just
ahead.
let me know if there's a punt at any point.
Totally. Yes, 1,000%.
Okay. The next one I've got Zoe Saldana and Jim Carrey.
Ooh, nice. Good choice.
So, Carrey is a lifelong resident of a mental institution.
Wow.
Who claims to speak with luminaries from the past.
Okay.
And new Dr. Zoe takes a special interest in helping him lead a fuller life until one day she sees Jim conversing with a ghost. And now she must help liberate him from this place and set right a lifetime of wrongs.
Wow. Okay.
So at first I was thinking like maybe it's some sort of like imaginary animals that he's seeing, but then she sees it and I was like, I don't know, does that get too cutesy and stupid? Whereas if you do luminaries from the past, it kind of opens it up and frees. This could be a darker movie. This could be lighthearted. Not lighthearted, so to speak, but something like Awakenings, where there's some moments of joy.
I like that. Yeah.
Yeah. In the midst of this overall potentially depressing movie. So you can find sparks of this. And then the supernatural element is, I don't know, it's interesting. I think Carrey could play the duality of that character of someone who doesn't feel that they're crazy, but the world does.
Yeah, that's good.
And then Zoe's got all the compassion in the world. I could definitely believe that she's a doctor that comes in and just sees him as like, wow, he's been here for almost his entire life. Like, that's terrible. And just tries to be proactive in making his life better within the institution, and then realizes, holy shit, either I'm crazy along with him or no one else has been able to see this until now, and trying to convince the world. And I think there's an interesting movie in there somewhere.
I like that. That sounds awesome, to be honest with you. Because I mean, throwing in the what do you call it? Throwing the metaphysical aspect of it all, I think that throws or the otherworldly aspect of it. I think it throws a lot of gives it a lot of interesting places to go. So
yeah,
I like that idea. Plus, it's a nice challenge for Jim Carrey to play a character like this.
Yeah, I was thinking in my head, Eternal Sunshine.
Yeah, sure, definitely.
Like I started with Zoe and I was looking at her, and then in the side list, and I had other ones. At first, I put down Chris Pine. I was like, God, they'd be a great duo. And I was like, 5 minutes later, what about Star Trek, asshole? And I was like, I will say I don't have Chris Pine on my list. I tried to think of something for Chris Pine,
Oh yeah, that could have been good.
but everything I kept coming up with were basically reskins of movies he's already done, and I was like,
Yeah,
that doesn't seem fair to him.
yeah, yeah.
Like I came up with a Hell or High Water until I realized he was in Hell or High Water. And then I came up, I did it a couple times and I was like, why am I so blind to this, even though I really like the guy's work? Um, but yeah, so I started with Zoe and I was like, okay, what type of character have I not seen her play? And I
Right.
settled on Doctor. And then I just scanned the list. And then once I saw Carrie, I thought of Eternal Sunshine, even though he wasn't the Doctor in that.
Yeah.
And then started formulating the idea there. But I think there's something there. There's
Oh, absolutely. There's something there. I like it.
potentially. Is it maybe more of a Netflix movie as opposed to a theater movie? I would imagine most of these are the way cinema's going
Yeah.
currently.
Who
Uh,
cares? It pays. Who cares? Yeah.
yeah, well, it does well enough. It does well enough.
Exactly.
But
All
anyway,
right.
so that's my 9.
Okay. What's your 8?
Not a punt once again.
No, not a punt.
Not a
Although you are using people I've got on my list, it's not a punt, right?
yeah.
Okay. Go ahead.
My next one is okay. It's a trio.
Okay. Oh, you cheating son of a bitch. Go
Well,
ahead.
it's my only trio. You'll see why in a second.
Okay. All right.
So you have Sarah Paulson, Jodie Foster, and Pedro Pascal.
Ooh, good combo.
So married couple, Jodie and Sarah,
Okay.
can't settle on a surrogate father.
Okay. I like
So
that.
one day, randomly in a crowd, they just select Pedro Pascal because they can't settle on anything. So they select him, not realizing he's a professional slacker and con man, and now have to spend the rest of the movie convincing him it's the right thing to do, which ultimately he succumbs to. And, spoiler alert, becomes a better man because of it.
Wow.
So it's just like got a little heart of gold, something, it crosses, it's a not quite a 4-quadrant picture, but it's close.
Right.
And we've already seen Pedro play a con man in Wonder Woman 84.
Yeah. Yeah.
So to see that type of character have some sort of form of redemption in this, I don't know. I just, for some reason, seeing the list, I was like, this is the idea that formulated. I don't really have much beyond that. I just believe that Pedro could pull this off.
I like that.
And originally I'd cast 2 straight actresses and I was like, well, that seems like it's going to create too much controversy.
Yeah.
If we're going to have them be a lesbian couple, why wouldn't we just use lesbian actresses?
Fair enough.
There are plenty of excellent ones out there. So then I just reformulated. So those other 2 actresses did not make my list.
I like
that. I think there's something there.
That's absolutely. I think that's great. It reminded me a little bit of what the Vince Vaughn one, where he's like delivery service or whatever it was, where everyone's like, he has to go and find out all his brothers and sisters that because that doctor.
Oh, okay, yeah.
The doctor was the sperm donor who got all those people pregnant, and so now they're all kind of related, so they have to kind of find each other, and he's trying to save correct their lives or fix their lives, and that's kind of his way of like kind of dealing with the fact that this has happened, and he's discovered this truth in his world. So I like it, dude. It's good. I dig that shit, especially because Pedro is he can play that. Obviously, we saw him in Wonder Woman 84. Not that great of a movie, but we saw that he has that gear.
Yeah.
To play kind of a shyster or a huckster, and having him kind of turn that around as people love him in Mandalorian, you can take advantage of those moments as well. So yeah.
Well, that new trailer for the unbearable weight of
massive talent.
Talent looks fantastic, by the way.
It's getting great reviews. So
it looks fantastic.
Yeah, I can't wait. All right, so that's your 8.
That is my 8.
No punt again. So then my number 10 is Steve Carell and Melissa McCarthy.
Okay.
Yeah. Both of them need a hit, man. I really think both of them need a hit. I mean, I enjoy Space Force. I really like that show. And so the season 2 just came out. I'm halfway through it now. Really like him in that show. But he's, he hasn't had a big hit in a while. So I thought him and McCarthy, who also hasn't had a big hit in a while, is stuck on Netflix. But she's been kind of leaning towards doing a little more of these dramas. So I thought this could be a fun dramedy with them as a brother and sister whose father dies. And their father says in the will that only one of them is going to get his fortune. And the one who is able to complete the mission, and he sends them both on 2 separate missions. If they can complete the mission, then whoever completes it first, rather, is the one who will have dibs on the money. And what you find out is eventually the missions intersect. And apparently there have been issues between them for quite some time, between the brother and sister. And this is their father's last attempt to get them to kind of make up with each other and learn to live together. And he hopes that they both cross the finish line together on their missions so that they can share the money. And so that's the whole thing. And then all these kind of hilarious madcap situations happen to them as they're in environments that they're not used to being at all, because they've both been kind of privileged, arrogant jerks in their own lives.
Sure.
Because of the damage of their relationship and their relationship with their father and what have you. So all of this kind of gets confronted. They get confronted with all of it as they go in on this because of wanting the money. Of course, initially they reject it and say it's stupid, but then each of them in their own time comes to the executor and says they'll do it. So
I love it. We were supposed to come up with like a 2 to 3 sentence log line.
is that the whole film? Sorry about that. Okay.
No, I like it because it sold
pitched,
me.
so I don't know.
If that's your 10, I can't wait for 9 through 1. That to me is, since they already have working relationships with Netflix, that's like a 6-episode season right there. Done.
Oh yeah, that could be a 6-episode season. Yeah,
it's like this does need to extend beyond this, but it seems like if you really want to get into the shenanigans, you could extend this out and make the side missions a little bit more, so that by episode like 4 they do the crossover.
Yeah.
They're off on their own for long enough. Episode 1 they're together. Episodes 2 and 3 they're off doing their own thing. 4 they come back. 5 they're still butting heads. 6 they come together. Done.
Yeah. Possible.
Yeah, no, I like that. I think that's
okay. Thank you.
All right, you sold me. Let's get that in front of producers.
Let's do it.
We
give away ideas for free on this show. All these are copyrighted, by the way. Nobody can steal these fucking ideas. All right.
I don't know if that'll hold up in court, but okay.
Well, I feel like it's recorded, so we've got evidence that we came up with these ideas first. My number 9 is Brie Larson and Matthew McConaughey.
Okay.
And McConaughey is this. Remember was it Spy Game where or which one was it where Robert Redford was like manipulating Brad Pitt and
Spy Game,
right? And then you had the other one with Russell Crowe and DiCaprio.
Yeah. So, let's see. That wasn't the 3 days one. State of Play? Was that State of Play?
That's it. State of Play. Right. So this is kind of in that vein where McConaughey is a handler and he's kind of at the end of his rope and he's about to possibly get let go. And this has come across his desk and it's very topical because it's about Brie Larson, him bringing Brie Larson in, who has sworn off being a part of the Spy Game, being a part of undercover work, because the last one, she had to kill 2 people in order to get out of it. But he's bringing her in to infiltrate a white supremacist organization for a possible attack on a United States monument of some sort. So he brings her in and it becomes a thing where they have to work together, but there's real division in how she wants to do it and how he wants to do it.
Okay.
And this is a way to expunge her record, that classic cliche of expunging a record. But it's what she discovers as she's going deeper into the white supremacist organization and who they're connected to that McConaughey knows in his chain of command. So it becomes that kind of thing that, and then I'm not going to give away the ending, obviously, but that's what it leads to.
To this fictitious movie, or you're talking about the real one? I don't want to give away the ending to something that's never going to happen, and I just made up in my mind.
So, yeah. So that's what I was thinking. Because, I mean, I think she'd do a gritty. A lot of people bash her acting, but I think Brie's got a steel to her, and to bring that steel in and shake that steel up a little bit. And McConaughey is quite charming and also can be quite ruthless in certain movies. You've seen Killer Joe when he wants to get something.
Mm-hmm.
And so to have that combo of those two, I think could be really interesting.
Yeah, it definitely could.
Especially if she finds out that like the guy or the woman 2 or 3 levels above him is connected and funding this white supremacist organization, how that affects what he's doing, and what have you, and how that affects his how can I say this, his mortality, like is he in danger for his life? So could be
Yeah,
fun. And so is she.
I think the concept is really interesting. I mean, basically, it's Spy Game meets that Daniel Radcliffe, where he plays an agent who infiltrates the white
Right.
supremacist group.
Right.
Um,
But hey, I
which
mean, sorry, Matt, go ahead. Sorry.
yeah, there's a lot to that. The Brie is where I have the question.
Yeah, I know. I know.
Well, it's just like sometimes she's
But I tell
awesome,
you.
and other times I think she's wooden.
Yeah.
And it's just like, which Brie am I getting? I don't know.
But
I
it
wrote
could
her
work.
down, but I never really thought, seriously considered her.
The wooden could work though, because it makes it hard to read. Is she telling the truth? Is she not telling the truth?
Yeah, but if
So
I was a
maybe-
producer, I'd be like, can we get Amy Adams?
No,
Can we
because she's
get-
small. I'd rather have someone who can fight. Bree's shown she can fight. She can handle herself. But I hear you.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, we're on the heels of hearing about Ginny Thomas, so I think it's possible. That's what inspired me. The fact that she went to the January 6th rally, whatever. Anyway, so then my number 8 is Will Smith and J-Lo.
Okay. In a movie that will never be greenlit. Go ahead. I'm not against the idea, but it just, I can't imagine what producer, production company, and studio was like, yep, winning combo. This is going to make hundreds of millions.
Why not? Look, they're both
Will Smith's star is waning and J-Lo is not box office, but I love the pairing.
She just did Marry Me, which apparently did well on Peacock from what they're saying.
Listen to that statement. Listen to that statement.
I'm saying, but Will Smith has Bel Air, his dramatic version of Bel Air. He's the executive producer on that on Peacock as well. So this will obviously stream on Peacock.
Okay. All right. You've already found a home for it.
I found a home.
Okay. So I'm lowering my expectations.
All right, thank you. Thank you very much. And this one is kind of how can I say this? This is an exploration of them and their child. Their child gets a disease of some kind, and they are parents who are working class parents, blue collar parents. They're barely making it as a couple. There are cracks in their connection. And once the child was diagnosed with this stuff, it really exposed the cracks in their relationship. And they find out that the kid was diagnosed because of some miscare by a company. So they kind of have to rally to find out and go what happened and how the company is responsible and fight the company. The problem is that they live in a community where 3/4 of the people are employed by that company. So they have to battle that as well as they're trying to save their child. And so people who they thought were their friends turn on them, and other people come out of the woodwork to support them that they had kind of dismissed or not connected to. So maybe either Will or J-Lo works at that company as well when they find out this stuff. So I don't know, just throwing it out there.
It could work. I mean,
Will's great in dramas. I love Concussion. I haven't seen
King Richard he's excellent in King Richard.
He is great in Richard, yeah.
I couldn't tell you the last thing I saw J-Lo in. Made in Manhattan?
Well, that's on you, bro. She's been working a lot.
There was that one where she was a stripper, right? Where it was
getting
like potential Oscar buzz.
She was good in Hustlers.
But I legitimately, I mean, it's been a long time since I saw something where I was like, J-Lo, all right.
Yeah, I mean, remember, this is the same girl that did Out of Sight, so she can go toe to toe.
Yeah, Out of Sight and Selena, but that was 20 years ago.
Yeah, well, maybe I bring Soderbergh back to direct this thing. And I've got myself a possibility.
This movie is great in 1994. This thing is crazy box office in 94. Actually, probably a little bit later than that.
But bringing this up for you're tearing it down, for God's sake. I thought we were just.
I'm not trying to tear it down.
I haven't torn any of your stuff down, man. Come on.
I apologize. That is, yes, it's not the. I just wasn't. The first one was such a great idea.
Thank you.
At 10, I'm like, wow, I can't wait to see what 9 through 1 are.
Well, see, you set up your own expectation.
That's true.
I don't do it this way. For me, it's about their stardom and where they're at. That's where I've placed it. And so not necessarily the power or the log line of the film. It's more a matter of the stardom. And that's why Carell and McCarthy are down here, Larson and McConaughey are down here, so are Will Smith and J-Lo. So yeah, so there you go.
Yeah, I just think that McCarthy Carell, that's a sellable idea.
Sure, but who are
It's
you
a
going to
genuinely
attract to write it? Who are you going to attract to direct
yeah, but if you go and you pitch
their
that,
stage? Yeah,
I
sure.
could easily see that being made.
Yeah, thank you.
Plus, because it's a comedy, the budget is going to be lower than
Very true.
any number of other things that you come up with, which helps greenlight it that much faster.
Very true.
And if they're two people you could see working together and enjoying each other's company, boom, another feather in your cap. I don't know.
Yeah, come on.
I'm not saying the other two ideas aren't, good ideas.
These are all sellable, damn it. Come on.
In the right market, yeah, sure. Anything's sellable. They're saying there's going to be a slowdown in the streaming wars, so it's going to be tougher to sell projects.
Let's start the top 10 streaming
Oh, we're Taskmaster, and we're just going to start our own streaming service.
Just going to do it, man. Sign up. All right, what's your number 7?
7 is you want to talk about just a log line that gets to the point. Daniel Kaluuya, Margot Robbie, small-time thieves decide to up their game and topple a casino.
Ooh.
It's Ocean's 11 meets the Smoking Aces.
Interesting.
So you have like the smooth panache, but then there's just this menagerie of weird oddball characters everywhere, and it's those two at the center. And they start off, whatever, they're low rent crooks.
Yeah.
And they're nothing, but you can easily see these two transforming into the suave that you would need to be the center of the hurricane. Was all the stupid shit happens around them, and it's just the two of them looking cool as shit, robbing a casino. I think, boom, that sells. I already have Bay, Bruckheimer, and Snyder fighting to produce this.
Wow.
Fits all of their wheelhouses, especially Snyder's like, oh yeah, this team up movie thing, I'm all about it lately.
Yeah.
So I am definitely going to do this. I think I'm going to go with Zach personally.
Okay.
He's got a little bit more heat right now.
Does he? Oh, okay, good.
And he's got a working relationship with Margot.
Oh, he does. Absolutely. Yeah.
So I think this is done deal. I literally, that's all I wrote down for it. Small time crooks, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
That side to up their game, take down a casino. I'm done. I'm walking out of the room.
I love it.
I've sold that idea.
Yep. 1,000%.
Easy.
Yeah. Just walk on out.
Yep. Walking straight out of that room. I don't need to add all the layers of here's their backstory and that's not what this movie's about. This movie is about two small-time crooks trying to up their game and rob a casino. But done. Easy. Audience gets it. It's pretty people doing cool shit.
No doubt.
And done. You could sub in other people. You can fill in the cast around them.
Yeah.
See, I don't know if I want to go full oddball like Smoking Aces.
Right.
But something like Ocean's 11, where there's a ton of other people populating the screen. But basically, we're just following these two. They are in every scene, pretty much.
I like it.
Done. I'm walking out of that. I just made myself a nice 6-figure minimum check.
At least.
For a 1-sentence log line. Done. I wish I had a mic to drop in the room.
Sexual chocolate.
Exactly. That boy is good. That's what I'm saying. Give me a golf clap as I walk out and be like, thank you.
Thank you.
And I'm done.
Oh, perfect. I love it. I like Margot Robbie too. And she needs a hit, for God's sakes. I don't care what you say about Birds of Prey. She needs a hit.
Suicide Squad.
I mean, that's an ensemble piece, bro. That wasn't even.
Yeah, but she was kind of the face of it.
And who was talking about her? I mean, they were all talking about Ratcatcher after that movie was over, or Peacemaker. So,
yeah,
she was good in the movie. I'm not going to say she was good in the movie. She was good in the movie, but she wasn't the selling point necessarily when you finished watching the movie. All right, what's your 6?
My 6 is Mark Ruffalo and Meryl Streep.
Ooh, okay.
So, it comes from.
I feel like they've done something, but maybe not. Go ahead.
I looked it up. I didn't come up with
fair
it.
enough.
Maybe.
What's your pitch on them?
I'm looking it up now. Did I?
Oh, okay.
I don't see anything. Let's see.
Captain Marvel? No.
Well, All the King's Men, but
Is that an ensemble piece? Do they have any
yeah,
stuff?
it's a huge ensemble piece. And actually, is she in that? I don't think she's in that.
Yeah, I don't know if she's in that.
Yeah, I don't think they've done anything together.
Okay.
Well, if I screwed it up, I screwed it up.
I don't see anything, dude. So I think you're fine. It was just
what it comes from. So the YouTube algorithm at one point suggested the Graham Norton show.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
so I put clips of that on in the background while I'm doing other shit.
Yeah, I like that show.
Yeah, it's good. He creates an environment where it genuinely seems like they're having a good time.
Yeah.
Not the contrived James Corden, we're all best friends. Like, I don't buy that, James.
Oh no,
whereas,
James, no.
Yeah. No, and seems unlikable by all accounts. But
yeah.
What do I know? I've never met the man, but I haven't heard good stories. Let's put it that way.
Okay.
So it comes from a clip of theirs that I saw a while back. It was during the pandemic at some point, where I don't know, but not in recent history.
Okay.
Where the two of them were on the couch together and they had great chemistry. And then he makes a compliment towards her where she was saying that once she turned 40, she got offered 2 roles for witches.
Ooh, interesting.
And she was like, so that apparently that's what Hollywood thinks of you. And Mark says something along the lines of, oh, that happened like just a couple of years ago.
Uh-huh.
And she was like, oh, you son, and comes in for a kiss. And the look on his face was like, I can't believe I just got to kiss Meryl Streep. I'm beyond excited. And they had a good chemistry between the two of them. Yeah. And I was like, they seem like a fun pairing.
Totally.
So that's where I was just like, when we set out to do this list, that was the first pairing in my head.
Right.
So Mark plays a cop of over 2 decades who receives news from his doctor that he needs a new heart.
Ooh.
And one day on the other side of the country, Meryl's oldest son in his early 30s dies suddenly in a car crash, and had elected previously to donate all of his organs.
Wow.
Mark receives the heart and Meryl asks to hear it beat one more time. And over the course of them bonding, the two slowly fall in love.
Oh, man.
It's got everything.
That's good stuff.
That is potential Oscar.
Yeah.
Right there. Yeah. Meryl's going to get nominated regardless. We already know that for a fact. It's whether or not Mark gets nominated that really elevates the project.
Okay.
But we've got death of a child.
Yeah.
One guy who's about to die and then gets this life-saving treatment, and the two of them coming together, and then basically just like he wants to know about her son, whose heart he now carries with him. So she gets to reminisce about all the amazing things that he was.
Yeah.
And then starts to see a lot of those things in him. And Mark, we do flashbacks to all the amazing things that he's done as a cop and the trials and tribulations.
Right.
And then slowly the two of them just become closer and closer. And by the end of it, fall in love.
This is good stuff.
Done. I'm telling you, that thing gets nominated for at least probably her.
Okay.
Maybe a screenplay and a set design or costume design or something.
Okay.
I think this minimum 3 Oscar type of movie.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Minimum. Well, I'm saying nomination. I'm not saying we win, but I'm saying minimum 3 nominations. There's possibly a 4th for Ruffalo. I think unless it's excellent, the director gets iced out on this.
Hilarious.
It's got a shot, dude. It's going to pull at all the right heartstrings. The Academy, it's got a lot of the stuff the Academy loves, especially an older white person as one of the leads.
Okay.
I'm telling you, this thing's got legs.
All right. I'm not saying it doesn't. I'm not saying it doesn't. I'm just saying, there are a lot of those films that you think, oh, this has totally got Oscars written all over it. And then you wake up Oscars morning and there's no nominations. So you just never know. It's one of those films. It depends on who you get as a director, I feel like. It depends on who you get as a director.
Well, I mean, so many people have lined up to do this.
Really? Oh, I didn't know that. Okay.
So many people. The most interesting, though,
yeah,
because he wants to harken back to something he's previously done, is Clint Eastwood.
Wow. You really trust Clint Eastwood and Meryl Streep together again?
That's what I said. I was like, wow, there's a lot of friction. So long as she's on board with it, we're willing to consider. We are willing to consider.
I don't know. These liberal
I'm not
critics,
against
they
it.
don't like a red state director like Clint Eastwood. I mean,
they don't.
Richard Jewell got completely shuttered, and that was a fantastic fucking movie, man.
Well, my first choice is Sam Mendes, but I'm not sure he wants the
Ooh,
project.
Sam Mendes is a nice choice.
He already said, he's like, I've neglected to spend time with my family as of late, so I'm not sure. And I'm like, Sam, we can adjust the shooting schedule because I think this is like a 60-day project, man, at most. We might be able to bang this out in like 30 to 40.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, you know,
Has he been
it's
neglecting his family? He hasn't done a movie in 3 years.
he's been working on projects though. That's what you don't know.
Oh, right. Yes. Okay. Fair enough.
Well, just like much
Empire.
like Kubrick working on that Napoleon project for 10 years that never
Oh,
came to
right.
fruition.
Good point. Good.
Sam's got a few of those in the hopper. And
Yeah.
he's like, I've been jet setting around trying to do research on these. And I was like, dude, there is no research on this. We're close. I'm not sure though, but we're close.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
P.T. Anderson said he wants in, but as much as I love him, I'm not sure his aesthetic really fits with this one.
That's a 2-hour, 45-minute movie.
Yeah.
At least. So I don't know if
and it's
get out of there.
You know, it's not a collection of vignettes on this one. So yeah, I don't know. But anyway, so we got some nice buzz.
Okay.
But Mark and Meryl already attached, so I think eventually we're going to find the right combination of people. But what do you got at 7?
My 7 is Michelle Yeoh and Keanu Reeves.
Okay.
Keanu Reeves is a regular guy, working his job, clocking in and out. His mom has died years ago, and he gets this weird letter. And when he opens up the letter, he finds out that his mom is still alive, and his mom is Michelle Yeoh. So he flies to China to find out what's going on, because there are clues here as he goes to explore why. And you find out that his mom had witnessed some kind of murder when he was younger and got put into witness protection program and sent to China. And so he's got to find out what it is that she witnessed. And there are people invested in him not finding her. And eventually, well, I'm not going to say what happens, obviously, because I don't want to ruin the movie for people who are going to watch it in about 10 years. But
smart. Smart. You got to always leave them wanting more. Hold it back a little bit.
But what you find out is it's the assassination of a very important person. And when he does, because he will obviously logically end up catching up with him, the conversation about how could you do this? How could you leave me? For all these years, I thought you died, but you're alive. There is a kind of coming together to escape the people who don't want her to reveal what she knows. And then eventually, I'm not going to give it away, but that's the movie.
So I think something needs to have happened in witness protection that she flees on her own to China, because I don't know why witness protection would send to another country.
Yeah, that's
unless you have a good reason in there.
Yeah,
but to be out of their jurisdiction, so they wouldn't be able to protect her. So maybe like somebody came at her in witness protection, and then she fled to China or something. I don't know.
Well, possibly, but I think that we do have relationships with China. So maybe it was in both the country's best interests for her to go back to the country of her. Or I think Michelle Yeoh is Chinese. I'm pretty sure she's Chinese.
That sounds right.
Yeah, I'm sorry if I to anyone I might be offending by not knowing that offhand. Yes, she's the daughter. I'm sorry, she's Malaysian. She was born in Malaysia, so I apologize. So maybe Malaysia, we could move her to Malaysia. That's possible. Oh, she is of Han Chinese descent. Okay, there we go. And spoke English and Malay before Chinese, but she does speak Chinese. So, Michelle Yeoh is kind of making this comeback. We got that movie coming up, Everything Everywhere All at Once.
It looks great.
It looks great. There's a new John Wick movie coming. So they're still at the top of the demand of the game. So to have him be her son, and he's been getting more and more into the Asian films, showing up in these Asian films like 47
Ronin.
Yeah. Which I don't think she was in. Please God, don't tell me she was in it. No, she wasn't. Okay, good. So I don't think they're together. So it could be a lot of fun to have. And this is not a kung fu situation or any martial arts situation.
Yeah.
It's actually a more low-key drama thriller, suspense thriller with them together and eventually coming together as mother and son and outwitting the people that are coming after them.
Yeah, I think it's a good idea. I like gets the letter and finds out that she's still alive after all these years.
Yeah. And how does he, who sends the letter? Why did they send the letter? And what's their ultimate agenda by sending him the letter to send him down this path? That's what they find out near the end of the movie. So
don't spoil it though. Don't spoil it. What if somebody does listen to this and wants to make one of these ideas? How crazy would that be?
We can sue them. Or
no. I'm saying they do right by whoever's idea it is amongst the two of us.
Yeah, fair.
And approaches and says, "I'd like to make this."
This is a Lennon-McCartney situation. I hate to break. We're both getting paid off, whatever idea they chose. Okay.
Oh, really? So if it's your idea, I'm getting a piece?
You're getting a piece, yes. And if it's your idea, I'm getting a piece.
Do we want to state what kind of piece?
I think
50-50 split is
that's
ridiculous.
Unfair. That's unfair. Yeah, I agree with you. Maybe a 70-30 is fair.
70. Okay. Fair enough. 70-30. What you don't know is I'm going to Back to the Future you and be like, this thing I actually didn't make any money on this. We're losing money. The marketing budget on this was $7 billion.
You're going to Forrest Gump me with Tom Hanks.
Yeah, just dude, I hate to break it to you.
We made no money off Forrest Gump. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
$900 million. No, it really didn't.
They paid me in Dogecoin, and that thing took a nosedive.
Fucking Dogecoin.
It's to the moon. Unfortunately, the moon went to the bowels of the earth, and we did not do well on this project.
All right.
Fair enough. 70-30 split.
I think that's fair.
Oh, sure.
Whosever idea it is gets the 70%. But we're both producers on the film. That way, we get some credits out of it. Let's see. My number 6 is Zoe Saldana and Denzel Washington.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like this already.
This is a smaller independent film. I don't know if anybody's going to see this film. But the script has attracted Denzel and Zoe. And what we discover is Zoe is a woman in a mental ward. And she's being kept kind of what do you call it? Medicated. And in her delusions, she sees Denzel, who is her dad, who has passed on. And so she has these interactions with her father as she's trying to figure out why she's been medicated, what it is that has why are they severely medicating her? Why are they diagnosing her in this way? And as she starts to kind of navigate her way out of the hole, Denzel becomes initially an obstacle, but then eventually an assistant, because obviously she's manipulating how Denzel is appearing in her mind without knowing how she's. So this is, and she can't, reality versus the delusions, all of this. And you do find out what it is and why it is that she's been getting medicated, who is in charge of her getting medicated. And if she climbs out of this whole situation, or if there's a twist ending, she falls deeper into it and realizes that this is a better place for her to be lost in the dreams and illusions with her dad. So just throwing it out there.
It's interesting that we both managed to put Zoe in a mental ward on some capacity.
That's right. I forgot yours was in a mental ward. That's right. Shit, I was more caught up in the fact that it was Zoe Saldana. But is it similar to yours? I don't think it's similar to yours.
No. Well, it's on the flip side. She's a doctor helping Jim Carrey, who's dealing with the delusions of ghosts.
Right.
So that she sees along with him, and then it's like, oh my God.
That's cool.
And yours is she's the one with the. It's just crazy that of all the actors or actresses to choose from, we both selected her and then put her in the same situation.
Yeah.
Because I was just trying to get her out of action. I've seen her in a ton of action. I think she's excellent each and every time. So it's like, all right, give her something different to do.
Right. I have Jim Carrey coming up, and he's not in a mental ward. So just letting you know, or anything like that. So.
Oh yeah.
No.
I would have been shocked if you had Jim. I didn't, honestly. Jim Carrey was a last minute addition. I had another actor in there, and I was like, I'm just not buying this for him. I still like the setup of everything else, but I'm not
Yeah.
buying it for him. And then I looked at the list again. I was like, Carrie with Eternal Sunshine, I could buy him existing in a world where it's like this weird
Totally.
shit
Totally.
going on around him while he tries to basically be the center of and calm.
Yeah. I think I can add to it and make a drug that's an experimental drug, and they're using her as the main kind of test subject.
Mm-hmm.
So it could be even more like, how can I call it? Fantastical. Even like The Cell with Jennifer Lopez. Not that she's chasing down a serial killer, but it's seeing what it is that, and then you find out why she was chosen because she knows something or whatever. And Denzel's the one that kind of like either helps her climb out of it to reveal the secret or tumble all the way back down and stay there forever. And the secret's never revealed, which makes it kind of a 70s ending.
How big would you say Denzel's part is? Because right now it sounds like it's Zoe centric, and I don't know.
It's
do you
very
think Denzel?
Zoe-centric.
Yeah. Do you think Denzel signs on? I love it. I wish this casting comes true.
I think nowadays Denzel would absolutely sign on because I think Denzel likes to. I mean, if he's challenged by the role, the script is good enough, Denzel will sign on because it's a quick paycheck. He's in and out, does his scenes, and he's in and out.
I'm
And he's
I'm
still
not saying it's not possible.
Yeah.
I just he still is the lead in his movies.
Yeah. How many people went to see Tragedy of Macbeth, for God's sakes?
Yeah,
Well,
but he was the lead of it, you know?
I think he's pulling.
Like I can't it's tougher for me to see Denzel going the way of Tom Hanks of occasionally taking it where you're the second role, like in the Elvis biopic that's coming.
Yeah, that looks good.
It does and doesn't to me, but
How dare you?
I'm not the Elvis expert fan, so
Yeah. What does Catherine think? Does she like it?
pretty much the same, but she's more jazzed about it than I am.
Yeah.
She has faith in Baz.
Baz Luhrmann. Well, listen, here since 2010, here are his movies: The Book of Eli. Well, it didn't do that well.
Yeah, but
Unstoppable.
he's the lead.
Didn't do that well.
He's the lead.
Safe House. Okay.
He's the lead.
Flight.
He's the lead.
That one won, or it got nominations for him. Two Guns. He's sharing that with Wahlberg.
Yeah. Unstoppable he's sharing with Pine, but I mean, it's still like they're equal screen time.
Yeah, he's sharing with Pine. The Equalizer. He's the lead.
Yeah.
Magnificent Seven's ensemble. Him and Pratt. Really.
True.
Fences is him and Viola.
Uh-huh.
Roman J. Israel, he's the lead. Equalizer 2. Yeah, he's the lead.
Same
The
guy.
Little Things.
I didn't see that.
Lead, right? It's either him and Jared Leto going after.
Oh, that's the 3-person. Yeah, he's I would call him the co-lead.
Co-lead, yeah.
Yeah.
In Tragedy of Macbeth. But that's all his films since 2010. That's it. So I think he's quite fine doing a dipping out one.
Quite possibly. I just think maybe you need to sweeten the deal and give him an EP credit.
I'll happily give Denzel an EP.
I am just it's Denzel tends to lead in some capacity, and
1000%. I'll give him the EP credit. Well, it's taking a while, man. All right, should we take a break before we jump into our
good pitches, man? Yeah, let's do it. Let's take a quick break. We'll be right back after we hear this word from our sponsor. All right, there we go. We are jumping into our top fives. You've gotten a slight bit laggy over the past second.
Oh, have I? Well, let me dip back out and come back in then. Go ahead.
Okay. So we'll jump back into pitches here in just 2 seconds. But so far, I think we both have some really good ideas here. I guess maybe I am poo-pooing more of his. I don't mean to be. Although that Will Smith J-Lo, I don't think anybody greenlights that. That's just me personally. Once you attach J-Lo to this, it's like I'm not sure about that. The Brad Pitt, not Brad Pitt, but the McConaughey Brie Larson, that's a personal choice, and I could be distinctly in the minority in that. Fair enough. And the Denzel and Zoe, I think that's a great idea. Curious as to whether or not Denzel signs on, but it's quite possible. I think we both agree we got some bangers in our top five, our respective top fives. I think that's totally doable. I got a couple of mine that I think are pretty good, to be perfectly honest. Pretty good. I like them.
All right. I disconnected and reconnected everything and then switched over to the Ethernet. Am I good now?
You are good now.
Okay, cool. Thank you. Go ahead. What's your pitch?
So my 5. Did you ever see the show The Outsider? It was like a year and a half ago.
Mm-hmm.
So that's my pairing is
Oh
the
yeah,
typical-
with
with Mendelsohn.
the metaphysical thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was cool.
So-
I love that show.
I found it really interesting. I didn't like that they opened up the possibility of a season 2.
Mm-hmm. And then
I thought they should have just closed the door on it and been like, boom, 1 season and done, because it was super interesting.
right.
That was just me, though. Maybe season 2 is even more amazing, but I doubt it ever actually happens.
Hmm.
So I paired Mendelsohn and Cynthia Erivo,
Okay.
both on that show. That they had excellent chemistry together. Why not bring them back? Keep them in that same weird little dark world, so to speak.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So here's my pitch. Think early 1800s,
Okay.
deep in the heart of Louisiana, a pall has fallen over the village of Brousseau, with Mendelssohn's kids falling victim, having run afoul of a demon. And he must enter the darkest recesses of the bayou in search of the ageless Cynthia Erivo, the one woman a century before that bested this evil and its faceless minions.
Oof, that is something.
I think for a horror crowd, it's unique. It sets a nice scope. I think they already have good chemistry together. And because neither of these two is a huge A level, the budget on this is going to be low.
Yeah.
So it totally could be made and turn a nice profit because
Mm-hmm.
it's horror and kids love to be scared. So high schoolers will go see this in droves. And this could be like a paranormal situation where it cost 20 million and it made 250. So
I like that. Okay.
I think for that reason alone, I get a few meetings. The potential of the money to be made. And I just thought they had really good chemistry, and I was trying to think of something, and I didn't realize until after I wrote out the log line. I was like, oh, well, they already did the Outsider together, which was kind of this shade dealing with a character from whatever, a darker past or something. If you
Right.
want to call it that.
Right.
And I was like, you know what? I don't care. I'm not going to change it. They already exist on the world.
You're like,
I think they have good chemistry together, and I like the two of them.
Right.
So that's my number 5.
That's a good 5. I'm not going to argue with you. That's a good 5.
What do you got?
My 5 is Oscar Isaac and Anya Taylor-Joy.
Okay.
So this is my Latino film set in the 1950s. He comes over to this country with his family, loses his wife to an illness. So he has to raise his young daughter. And we don't see Anya Taylor-Joy, obviously, till a little bit later in the movie. Raise his young daughter as a Latino. And she, of course, Anya Taylor-Joy can clearly pass as white passing. She is Latino, full-on Latino.
Is she really?
Yes. She is Latina. She was born in Miami. Her family moved to Argentina, but she is called Latin American because her I think her mom or her dad is Spanish. And so she's Latina, not by birth, by actual heritage.
I just assumed. I mean, she
right, because she looks white, right?
Oh, she looks white as Wonder Bread.
Hey, but yeah, her dad Dennis Allen Taylor. That's as white of a name as you can get, but her mom is Jennifer Marina. So she's Argentinian. He's British. So boom, combination of both. So she's got the Latina in her, but she's white passing. So, and of course, Oscar being a little bit lighter as a Latino, but he looks with the brown hair and everything.
Yeah.
Clearly Latino. So it's about them living in the 1950s in America and what they experience, and her kind of wanting to cut off her Latino roots to succeed, to do whatever, and him sacrificing so much to help her. And because, of course, that's the last connection he has to his wife. And so we deal with these ideas of both coded racism and obvious racism and then within within the actual family, this idea of seeing what is of value and what is in terms of skin color, in terms of being a part of the. So we see this as she goes along. Of course, we age Oscar Isaac as the film goes along as well,
Yeah.
and she comes to that moment where she realizes how to value her Latin heritage and what it's all about, and repairs the relationship in essence with her father and comes to terms with it. And it isn't because everything fell apart. I really hate it when they have those movies where someone realizes all this shit because everything fell apart. Because then
Mhm.
it's almost like, well, I've got nowhere else to go. This is my safe harbor. It doesn't
Sure.
feel as authentic as everything is going well and I'm still not happy. Why am I not happy? What do I need to work out here? What's the problem? And then you find out what it is, and she comes to embrace that as she hears one too many, comments about Latinos or about Latin people. And so I would I think that, and it could go into the 70s, depending on how you want to age her up and whatever. So that's what my film is, an exploration of a father daughter and the Latin experience in the 1950s in this country into possibly the 1970s and what have you, and how it's changed and how it has metamorphosized, um, and taken new taken a new look. So that's my pitch.
I think,
It's an independent film.
yeah, and they're both hot enough to where there's Oscar buzz in the air for this one.
Possibly. Sorry, just turn up the light a little bit.
I thought you were
Possibly.
sending Morse code to the Latino Oscars for some reason.
To the Alma Awards. Give
Is
me
that what it's
all the
called?
awards. Yeah, the Alma
The
Awards.
American Latino
Medical
what
Association. No, I'm just
Medical Association, and they hand out the awards. That sounds more credible than a lot of these award shows.
no, it's the American Latino Media Arts Award. That's what the Alma Award is. Essentially the Latin Oscars.
Huh.
So yeah.
The media seems clunky in that mix.
Well, you got to
What?
refer to what it is, I suppose. So, but anyway, yeah. I mean, I like Oscar Isaac. Obviously, I love him. He doesn't do enough Latino roles, and so it'd be nice to kind of mix him into this situation. And Anya Taylor-Joy, because that makes you, and she could even confront the colorism and take an advantage of the colorism, the fact that she's white passing,
Mm-hmm.
and that's been a thing nowadays. A lot of within the Latin community. Certainly, we saw the reaction to In the Heights and whatever. So the
Yeah, I was about to say
exploration,
that Latinx
yeah,
backlash.
yep, all of it. So it could be an interesting way to explore it if we have the right Latino writers and the right Latino director. I would want to get a female director, female Latina director, to kind of put this in motion. And I think he's
I would assume that's what everybody would want in that
right. He's
Latino
tailor made
director.
for a costume piece or for a period piece with the costume. I mean, you could totally see him in a 1950s
Yeah.
dealing with that kind of
Yeah,
situation.
and she's already done it. We've seen her in Queen's Gambit do a period
Right.
piece.
Yeah. Queen's Gambit. Yeah.
And then what,
Right.
Last Night in Soho? I never saw it, but I know it's like some takes place now, some takes place.
In the past. Yeah. In the
Yeah, and
1960s.
some
Yeah.
distant past. But
Good movie. Good movie, by the way.
oh yeah, I
It
never really
loses,
heard all that much about it.
yeah, it loses itself in the back half for about 10 minutes when they go way off the rails, but then it kind of comes back and
All
ends
right.
well. So, all
Well,
right.
congrats. I think you have your first Oscar nominations on this list.
Thank you. What's your what's your four?
Get ready for my next Oscar buzz movie.
Oh, all right. Here we go.
So we have Dev Patel and Kate Winslet.
Oh, damn. That's a nice combo, bro.
So Kate is a widowed
combo.
matron of a large estate outside of Delhi who's oblivious to the struggle of the average Indian person until she meets Dev, who educates her to the inequality of the system
Oh, my
and soon joins the struggle for Indian independence.
wow. You're setting this during Gandhi times.
Pretty much like 1940s. I think they got their full independence in 1947.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
So somewhere along those lines where it's a period piece
Yeah.
about the breaking off the shackles of the Great British Empire, which is
Yes.
something this country definitely loves discussing.
Oh, totally. Totally.
Yeah, Kate Winslet, Dev Patel is another hot young actor.
Yeah.
the discussion in the mix of, will he get a nomination for Green Knight? Never happened,
Nope.
but
Sadly, no. Which is such a great film.
is it?
I thought so.
Is it? Yeah, I think I don't know. I walked out going, someone needs to explain to me why this was. That was my number one movie that I was looking forward to this year.
Yeah.
And I walked out going, I just don't get it. And then people will be like, it's a deconstruction of the hero story. And be like, okay, that's fine. It was anticlimactic. You could have cut out a whole bunch of people and characters in it.
Yeah. Fair enough.
But anyway, I don't know. I just think the setting of this, the scope, the liberation of a country and people, and instead of the white savior, it's you need to understand the system that you helped put into place. Maybe not you specifically,
right?
But more than likely someone in your lineage, because you own a huge estate outside of Delhi.
Yeah.
And confronting the sins of the family and of your people.
Yeah.
On the heritage and culture of another, and doing your best to help rectify those wrongs and championing the cause of those that are, struggling right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I just think, dude, if this doesn't get nominated for an Oscar, you guys are racist. That's what I think. Just straight up. You're anti-Indian and nobody likes that.
Whoa.
This is an untapped billion-person market, guys. Get hip to it.
It's not untapped. Certain
it's pretty
YouTube
untapped.
Channels I see make a lot of money reacting to Indian trailers.
And to Bollywood stuff?
Yeah, Bollywood stuff. Yeah,
really? I never even thought about that. What?
So Greg
Alba's
brother, Greg Alba's brother, Greg from the Real
Legends,
his brother Jabby Kawai, he has a whole YouTube channel where he reacts to Bollywood trailers, and he's got like hundreds of thousands of subscribers to his channel. So smart.
Good for him.
So smart, So yeah. Shout out to Jabby. Jabby is fucking brilliant. He's good, a very nice guy too. Very nice guy.
Didn't even think about it. Maybe we got to do a Bollywood edition to settle the score.
There you go.
Don't know any of these songs. I can't write clues for it. Yep. I don't know who we find for it, but good stuff.
You should definitely have them both like compete against each other. That would be a lot of fun. The family squabble.
Quite possibly. But anyway, so I got a couple movies that I think will probably get nominated for Oscars. You got one so far. I think your number 4 has got another chance. What do you got?
I've got 3 of them. I think are an Oscar nominated. All right. Bradley Cooper and Michelle Williams.
Okay.
Has it been anything? I feel like they haven't been anything.
I don't think so. I can't think of anything.
It's a cult movie. Everybody loves cults. Everybody's into cults. Bradley is the leader of a cult. We saw him in that terrible Licorice Pizza, playing that producer guy that was profiled in John Schnepp's documentary.
Oh, Death of Superman?
Yeah, John Peters. He played essentially John Peters. And we've seen him play, and in A Star Is Born, we've seen him with the long hair and the beard. And of course, we're all obsessed with cults now. And certainly The Master, kind of taking on a little bit of Scientology there. But this is a more like ground-based cult. And what we see is that he is, and it's a little bit based on the one that where they think the UFO is coming. I forget the name of that cult. So for him, that's what he is preaching. And she is the one who's been the dutiful wife, the number one wife. And then something happens, and I haven't figured this out yet, but something happens that causes her to begin to question the cult. And it becomes how she unwinds the brainwashing that has been happening for her since the beginning. And all because she didn't come in as his wife to start the cult. He started the cult and she became his number one wife. And they kind of work initially together, as we see in flashbacks, and then juxtaposed with current time where she's unwrapping and unwind. So she's trying to get out of this cult. There's a thriller aspect to it all, suspense aspect to it all. People are turning on her. If you've watched The Vow, those documentaries about NXIVM, or the Scientology stuff, Going Clear, how they come after you once you try to leave the cult and denigrate you and demolish your name and follow you around and spy on you and try to hack your stuff. We see her fight back against all of that. And Michelle is so great at playing, like, kind of, she can play the dutiful wife, but then she's also played these really strong characters kind of break out from the shackles that they've been in. So we could see her process and how she unwinds her connection to the cult and exposes him in the process.
I mean, if somebody doesn't come to us and offer to buy some of these pitches, I don't know what they're doing. I don't know what they're doing. That one's got Oscar buzz.
Thank you.
Yeah, I like that one. Cults are definitely,
oh my God,
a topic rife.
Yeah,
because there's been all the docudramas.
Those are great.
Usually they're really engaging. And it's a fascinating world. It's much like the mob for me. It's something I'll never be a part of. So I get sucked into watching stuff about it because it's just, what's the mindset? How do you fall into this?
Yeah, right.
Like, are you searching for something, or were you found and then pulled into it? Yeah, great casting.
Yeah.
Huh? Got yourself a couple more Oscar nominations. Dude, we are racking up beautiful resumes so far.
We are. My mob movie is coming, by the way. So let's.
Oh, you got. I don't have a mob movie.
Oh, really? Oh,
I figure there's enough of those. Although you could have a great one. I'm always down for a mob movie, but I just couldn't come up with a new premise in my head. Plus, I'd want to base it on a real character.
Sure. Oh, yeah. Good point.
Give me a Bonanno or a Gambino or a Costello, or follow one of their arcs.
I like how you have the accent on it. Gambino, Costello.
Hey. Falcone. Hey.
All right.
All right. So my number 3 is Sigourney Weaver and Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Oh my God! You want to talk about where are these two people commanding? You're coming after my shit.
That's the beauty, though. Low budget. I am
really
specifically setting a low budget for these.
Yeah.
But here's the pitch. So real life celebrities, Sigourney and Schwarzenegger, are in San Diego to promote their new movie at Comic-Con. When aliens that have blended into the crowd decide to take Hall H and all its inhabitants hostage, and only these two can stop them.
Okay. All right.
So basically, it's the player meets predator / alien.
Ooh. Wow.
So you have the psychological, the thriller and all that, but then you have the hobnobbing of other celebrities as you lead up into that.
Yeah.
So there's a little bit of lighthearted, and then also the who's an imposter and who's real, and trying to figure out and save all these people in Hall H. Automatically gets huge buzz at Comic-Con itself. So we've built in marketing from day one done.
Wow.
And I think we keep the budget nice and low because it's only a couple different sets. We can easily rent this out. And if the extras become too much, we can just CGI those fuckers in.
Yeah.
And done and done. I think this is just an easy no-brainer. Not everything needs to win an Oscar, but they all need to make money. And I think this one makes money. Okay.
Done and done. Interesting. All right. I like this. Interesting choice, my man. Interesting choice. So that's your 3.
That's my 3.
Okay. All right. So then my 3 is Jim Carrey and Sandra Bullock.
Okay.
Sure. You should already be ready to sign. It's not even a question. I shouldn't even have to say another word. This is a great combo of two people who've never worked together and who are killers in the comedy scene. So here it is. It's a funny movie. Competing Hollywood executives, Jim Carrey and Sandra Bullock, try to land a top star for their next movie because both of them are struggling in their respective studios and need to land this actor and land this property, this script. So they both go on insane experiences or whatever to try to land the actor. And I haven't decided who the actor is going to be, or actress, could possibly be actress. And so we see all the insane shit they're willing to do to get to that actor or get them to sign the dotted line.
Okay.
In the process. And so that's the kind of thing. And so you see Jim sneaking into places, Sandra sneaking into places, kind of like Jay Leno sitting in that what
The
do you call it?
toilet when
Yeah,
he's
the
listening in
utility
on.
closet, listening in with the. So we're seeing how crazy Hollywood executives can be when they're trying to land that big star to save their career and save their studios possibly. So I think those two would be incredibly hilarious. And it kind of was inspired by that not so good film she did about being the political campaign manager.
Oh yeah.
What's it called?
I don't remember, but I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. Our history is something, or it's something like that.
I will say
So
this much.
yeah.
As a note,
Okay.
they cannot come together in the end
Mm-mm.
because I was gonna say because people are gonna tell you that you're just remaking your already massive hit with Carell and
Oh, the comedy
McCarthy.
one. Oh, yeah. No,
Yeah.
no, 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 no. They do not come together. In fact, I don't think either one lands.
I was gonna say you need a third person to swoop in, and then they
Yes.
realize that by fighting themselves, they just hurt each other.
Martin Short is the third person that swoops in.
Perfect. I love it. Let's get Martin Short and more stuff.
Totally.
He's the best part of Only Murders in the Building.
He is because for once he's playing a repressed version of his shtick that he's done in everything, and it works so well. It works so well.
Just watching him walk in and just cut down Steve Martin because they do it as friends,
Yeah, of course.
and just that makes it onto the show. It's so
Yeah.
good every time.
But also the scenes like with his son, like those are some. I've never seen Martin play
vulnerable like that.
that color. Yeah, it was great to see the honesty in that. And I'm like, fuck, man, if you had that gear, how have you not done this more often? I'm sure he's had moments in movies like that, but like really dial into that moment like he did. It was incredible.
Yeah. But yeah, I like it. I think you got something there.
Okay. I think they'd both be very funny. And it's a way of exploring like how crazy Hollywood is nowadays, having those two. Oh, no, not even Martin Short. It has to be someone of color. Like it has to be someone who sneaks in that neither one of those two expected comes in and takes. Maybe one of their assistants or something comes in and lands the thing and it kind of exposes both of them. That could be funny. All right. What's your two, man?
My deuce, another very short log line. So it's Jessica Chastain and Josh Brolin. And
Jessica Chastain and Josh Brolin.
Jessica is a 10-year vet of the Bunny Ranch in Nevada. And new owner Josh Brolin is just the mark she needs to make one big score to escape this life. So I think it's kind of it's gritty. There is no comedy in this. This is fucking gritty.
Okay.
And he plays just the scummiest of scumbags.
Okay.
And she's dealt with them. She's dealt with clients like this, and now he's like the third owner that they're on. And she sizes him up pretty quickly. And he sizes her up, and it's this cat and mouse. And who ultimately wins? Does she get the score and get the fuck out of there? Or does he win and take his retribution out on her?
Ooh.
I'm smelling Oscar on this one as well. It's got sex. It's got a little bit of violence.
Yeah.
It's got name recognition, low budget once again. So there's a chance that it's not going to make a lot of money.
No.
Costs like 30 million to make. Maybe it does like 120. Maybe.
You think it's going to make $120 million?
On our best.
You've seen the returns for The Eyes of Tammy Faye. I don't know if it's doing all right.
Yeah, well, that's got no sex in it. This is all about sex, baby.
How can it be sex?
Sex sells tickets.
You're going to see her having sex? Okay.
Well, we're in the Bunny Ranch.
All right.
So there's gonna be.
Okay.
It's floating around. It's part of the makeup of all these individuals that exist here.
Yeah.
They all traffic in sex. It's their entire worldview on some level.
Right.
But yeah, I think it's Oscar for her, a nomination for her.
Okay.
For sure.
Okay.
For sure.
Okay.
Josh, it's going to be a little tougher because you're playing a scumbag, and that often doesn't get rewarded.
Yeah.
Altruistic characters get the nomination more often than not.
Okay.
But
it's good.
It's my log line. I'm in and out of that room pretty quick.
Wow.
I set the budget nice and low. I
Okay.
think I get this thing greenlit.
All right. I like this idea. What
do you got it to?
Charlize Theron.
Okay.
and Brad Pitt. Have they been in anything together?
Not that I can think of.
Yeah. I was looking through everything and I'm trying to make sure they haven't been in anything together. I want to make sure I don't go
I'll tell you this much. I'm already turned on. So what do you got?
oh, there you go. All right.
By
Oh,
both of them. I'm game. Let's go. What do we got?
I set this one in South Africa because obviously
She's from there.
she's from South Africa. And this is a couple that is dealing with the transition from what it was with apartheid
Sure.
and when it changes over with Desmond Tutu, with Mandela and all of this. But, and this is going to be tough sell, they participated in the apartheid. So they were part of it. And what we see is their journey throughout the movie into understanding what they did and how they did it. And so then this, in essence, they reflect what some South African white people went through as they came face to face with their behavior and their actions, with what they did during that time period. So we see them and their like horrible treatment of their black South African help or black South African employees. And so you're getting them in this gritty exploration of it all. Charlize and Brad have gone bone deep before in certain roles. This will be a great challenge for Brad Pitt. I think Charlize Theron could do this in her sleep, but it's a challenging movie because obviously you don't want to like them. And when you see the flashbacks of the things they've done, it's really hard to accept. So it makes it harder for the audience to sympathize with them because they're pretty and they're good looking. Oh, sorry, they're good looking and they're white. You're going to naturally, and you like them so much as people, you're going to naturally feel the sympathy for them initially. So you have to show some of the brutal stuff they did or some of the mean, really mean, evil stuff they did, and then see them really coming to terms with it emotionally, the stuff they've done, you know, because Desmond Tutu said he didn't want to put all these people in jail. He wanted them to see what they had done so they could understand how to reform their way of thinking and the treatment of the black South African populace that was there. So we can see the change and transition. Now, I think Pitt can do this accent. I don't think he can do an Irish accent. His pikey accent was funny, but it was for a fantastic film like Snatch. I think a South African accent could be in his wheelhouse. And certainly Charlize can do it in her sleep. So dangerous film.
Yeah, that's a. I mean, if done well, it would be amazing.
It's 10 Oscars at least.
Could be. Like legitimately, that's. I mean, that script has got to be fucking amazing.
I mean, you're not wrong. Amazing.
It has to be nothing short of, because there's no way.
Yeah.
It even reaches Charlize or Brad's eyes.
Yeah.
Because it had to get through countless readers and agents assistants.
You want him to play racist people in South Africa? No fucking way. No fucking
Exactly. How is this good for you? How is this good for your brand? How does this help you sell watches, Brad, or whatever else you're hawking? Like, there's got to be
challenge of them as actors. You're bringing it down to the challenge
for sure. It almost seems like the director needs to get a hold of the script first,
yeah,
and then approach the actors as opposed to the agents presenting it to the actors. Because I just can't imagine any agent coming to their client and being like, "Hear me out."
It just
you remember that the last systemic form of overt racism and subjugation based purely on skin color in this? Yeah. It's Charlize, where you're from. Anyway.
Because I don't think she's ever done a film like that.
No, nobody has.
So it
not
could
like
be
that.
It could be a challenge.
Because usually when it's like there are the racists and they're bad, and then there's like the white people, what was it? Cry Freedom, the Kevin Kline, Denzel Washington. It's like where there's a delineation between shitty white people and the few good white people that are trying to change the system.
I
think that's a much easier sell.
Yeah.
So that script has got to be amazing. I think if you could get it, but boy, that's got 12 Years a Slave vibes.
Whoa, that's a good point, right? Yeah. 12
well, I'm just saying, for the amount of nominations like that, how heavy hitting it should be. I would love it.
Okay.
I don't know if this thing ever gets made, but I love it. You might be in production hell, but they'll buy the idea.
It might be turn around forever.
Yeah, just forever. But you got paid, so
That's true. That's all that matters.
on some level, as you know, the guy pitching and coming up with the ideas.
Yeah. Okay. What do you got? Number one.
So my number one is
Mhm.
George Clooney
Okay.
and Danielle Brooks.
Oh, from Peacemaker. Nice
yeah.
choice. Okay. Ooh, nice choice.
So famed Hollywood prankster George is relaxing at his Italian villa in Lake Como
Yeah, yeah.
when Danielle Brooks stumbles to his front gate stating she's lost and needs help.
Wow.
George, realizing it's a fellow American in need, opens his doors just to have Danielle kidnap him and demand that he put her in his next movie.
Wow.
So think Midnight Run vibes.
Okay. Okay.
Where it's like this odd couple pairing that ultimately it's like they come to respect and like one another.
Right.
And she sets him free in the end. But I think she's already shown she can pull off the comedy and the action aspects of it. It's something you need for this. And Clooney's got all the charm
100%.
to do all of this.
Right.
Plus, we tell George we're shooting this predominantly in Italy for you. So you don't have to go far from your house. You get to sleep in your own bed at night. I think he signs on for that. And she gets a free trip to Italy. I don't know what production costs are like there, but they got to be starved for Hollywood movies shooting in there that aren't James Bond.
I mean, I would think so.
And I think with the Midnight Runs kind of vibe, I think this thing could do quite well. Once again.
Wow.
Low budget, high return. So that's what I'm going with a lot of these. That's how I'm speaking to them. I'm speaking their language, money. I'm here to make you money. Occasionally it's nice if we get an Oscar, but money is my predominant focus here.
Okay.
I think this one's a lot of fun, and I think they could have tremendous chemistry between the two of them.
I don't disagree with you. And by the way, doing a little research here for my Jim Carrey, Sandra Bullock one, Stephanie Beatrice is the executive who slides in and takes the star from them. From Encanto and from Brooklyn Nine-Nine. Now that she's kind of a hot commodity after Encanto. All right. Those are great choices. I love that number one for you, man.
Dude, you weren't even paying attention. You were searching and doing your own thing. That's fine. That's fine. Playing the role of executive. I get you.
I was already going to greenlight it when you walked in the room.
Exactly. Oh, I love it. This is great. Who's in this? Perfect. You care if we change everything aspect about this? Awesome.
Put it together.
What do you got at number one? I got stuff I need to look up online. Let me just check Twitter.
No, I mean, Clooney and Danielle Brooks is a good combination. That's so unusual. And the fact that Danielle did so well in Peacemaker, and it appeals to a younger demographic who's going to come in and enjoy. And Clooney, that Moon film or whatever he did on Netflix, I don't think they cast a younger actor who was going to bring people in to watch it. I think they still think Clooney can get butts in seats or eyes on projects. I don't think he can quite at the level that he did anymore because he does it so rarely. But he did a great job directing Tender Bar, so maybe he directs this one. Right? That's possible.
Yeah, possibly. I just think with the comedy aspect of it, you might be able to get more eyes because the other one was a sci-fi-esque.
Yeah.
And whenever he's ventured into sci-fi, it has not done well for him. Tomorrowland.
No, you're right. With what was the remake of Solaris? Yeah.
Solaris, Tomorrowland.
Yeah,
the one you're talking about that came out, the Midnight Sky. Is that what? Yeah,
Midnight Sky. Yes, Midnight Sky.
His sci-fis have been misses.
Yeah.
So let's get him back to comedy where everybody appreciates his charm and his smile and a little wink to the camera. Be like, there's the George we know and love.
Well, ain't this place what is it? Geological? What is it?
Ain't this place a geographical oddity? 2 weeks from everywhere.
2 weeks. See, I was paying attention. All right. Anyway.
The story behind that is, so he didn't know how to he was struggling with the accent. So he sent it to his uncle, who's a farmer in Kentucky.
Oh, shit.
And his uncle read the script back to him, his parts, and recorded it. But he omitted all the swear words because he's like a devout Christian. So George learned the script by listening to his uncle and then performed it without the swear words.
Wow.
And the Coens were like, hey, you do realize, and he explained it, and they liked his take on it better.
Yeah.
So they kept that in there.
Wow.
But yeah, just read the script, liked it. I guess he agreed to do it without reading it, just because he's like, I love all your movies, so
Yeah,
yes, count
of
me in.
course.
And then just kind of it evolved from there.
Wow, that's brilliant.
Whether or not that's true, I don't know. I've read an article stating that. So
Got a lot of tentacles, that George Clooney. All right, so then my number one is Leonardo DiCaprio and Jessica Chastain.
okay,
Jessica Chastain is a female Irish priest. DiCaprio is a Irish hitman, a gangster. And so he has come to this moment where he has committed this particular crime, killed this couple. And there was something about this final hit that affected him. So, because he is a lapsed Catholic or Protestant, I don't want to get into any kind of issues going on there. We can go either way. Maybe he's a Catholic who goes to a Protestant priest, or a Protestant who goes to a Catholic priest seeking forgiveness. So what we have here is an exploration of him atoning for the sins or revealing all the sins, and her getting all this information of these murders that have happened in the past. And I think either an Irish policeman or somebody finds out through some kind of interaction. Maybe someone bought and paid for in the church after that Chastain doesn't know is bought and paid for by the Irish mob, and reveals to the Irish mob what is happening. And so now they have to kind of work together to keep Brad Pitt alive. And then there's this Irish
Brad Pitt all of a sudden. Well, they've worked together.
Sorry, they've worked together. Sorry, DiCaprio alive, because he's got all this information and he's willing to talk about it. And she is the only one that is going to absolve him and be his conduit into cleansing his soul, but also revealing what happened here. So it becomes a tense thriller, but also a character piece in exploration and conversation in the interactions between him and Jessica Chastain. And I don't know if Irish female priests can have relationships. So,
well, there are no Catholic female priests,
right? But there are Irish priests, female Irish priests in Ireland. Yeah, they've been on for a while.
Yeah, maybe Protestant then.
I did research on this to make
Catholic, you still can't be. It's male dominated.
Yeah. As of November 2020, they were marking 30 years of women priests in Ireland, in the Church of Ireland.
So I don't know what denomination that is.
Yeah. I don't know either what the Church of Ireland.
Protestant, Lutheranism.
Ireland's first woman deacon was Reverend Catherine Polton, who was ordained in 1987. And in 2010, she was the first woman of dean and installed that Easter at St. Canice's Cathedral, Kilkenny. So I don't know if the Church of Ireland is Catholic or Protestant, but this was my mob movie. Not really, full on. It's a Christian church, the Church of Ireland.
Yeah, but that doesn't. It's an independent Anglican church. Yeah, so it's not Catholic.
All right, fair enough.
So
I don't know if they can get together or not, but there is a growing attraction as the film goes along. Do they consummate it? I don't know. But it adds to the element of danger. The stakes get higher as they grow to care for each other more and more.
Sure.
DiCaprio can play conflict like nobody's business. And Chastain, redhead, see her with the Irish accent, she would totally kill it.
Oh, yeah, undoubtedly. So, and I know DiCaprio could pull off the accent.
Yes.
I've never really visualized him as Irish before.
Maybe Kieran Hines is the Irish mobster who's trying to stop it.
Or Cillian Murphy.
No, because that'll be a Peaky Blinders. People will feel a connection too easily.
Okay, all right. Back off.
Start changing my movie if you want.
It's about to be Oppenheimer. You can visualize actors in different roles. it's okay. Yeah,
That's
I like that.
wonderful. Okay.
Who do you get to direct?
Was a good Irish director. It has to be an Irish director.
That I don't know. Who did was it Black 47? Let's start there.
I think Neil Jordan's too old to do it. Maybe. I mean, you could get Branagh, but I feel like it would get a little too preachy with Branagh.
Quite possibly.
Right? A little preachy. What about Martin McDonagh, who did In Bruges? 3 billboards outside Ebbing, Missouri. He was born in London to Irish parents, so he's not like Irish born, but he's Irish blood. So he'd be a nice choice.
Let's see.
Jim Sheridan, no, too old.
Okay, so I looked up Black 47 is Lance Daly. He's an Irish director.
Lance Daly.
But he's only really done that we know.
Okay.
Which I don't know if you've seen that yet, but
I haven't yet. I will watch it though, because I mean,
it's good.
Yeah. Who did Sing Street? Although I think that wouldn't be.
Oh, I don't know.
I love Sing
Still
Street.
haven't seen that.
John Carney, who also did Once, but he's more of a romance guy, so I don't know if I trust him necessarily.
Yeah, he seems to have kind of one formula that works for him so far.
Yeah. So I would try the other guy, who I mentioned, and I can't remember his name now, but I would do him. So
all right,
there you go.
I think we both have some excellent ideas in the mix.
Yes, we do.
I think I
20
don't
Oscars
think,
between us, at least.
Yeah, honestly, we've become the new Robert Evans for a new millennia.
The new Dom Simpson and Jerry Bruckheimer.
They didn't win Oscars, though.
Bring me the Coke. Oh, yeah, Robert Evans. Oh, I see what you're saying. Give me the Oscars.
Yeah, somebody was like, they could tap individuals and get them into Oscar kind of race.
It's true. It's very true. Okay. I'm down with it. I like it. Oof, this has been our longest show to date in a while. In a while.
Yeah, in a while. I don't think it's our longest. I think 2.5, 240 is our longest. Something like that.
Yeah, it's probably. I think that was one with Andreyko, maybe. All right.
Yeah, it was definitely with a guest.
But we can't really combine these.
No, we can't. I don't think I was about to say that. I don't think we can combine these. I think the show is what it is today. Let us know. Give us your pitch ideas.
Yeah.
We'd love to see them. Hit us up on Twitter.
Let us know if you have an issue with any of our pitch ideas, how to make it better.
Yeah, I could use help with that Idris Tilda one. I'm still not sold on that. I like all my others.
You're not getting a cut of it. Don't get us wrong, but you can help. There's an internship for you. The top 10 film production studios.
Well, if they come up with their own pitch, good luck to you. Get it out there. Hopefully you sell it.
Knock yourself out.
But yeah, that's it for the show. We're not going to combine them just because there's no real way to do the top 10.
Yeah, agreed.
Not even sure how we'll title this one.
This was fun. This was challenging.
Yeah, it was good. I would do this again. Come up with, and then you could do, you could subdivide too. And you're like, all right, you got to come up with action movies. You can't repeat yourself or something. It's got to be all different or
I like that.
Something along those lines. But yeah, it's a lot of fun. Let us know if you like the Sandra Bullock, Channing Tatum movie. No idea. It's got a release date that makes me question it.
The Lost City, yes.
The Lost City coming up.
Yeah.
Might get swallowed up by the Batman still.
Might. I'm going to see it next week. I'm hoping. I mean, I've heard good to not so good things, so I don't know.
Yeah, who knows?
There's those kinds of films.
But I think that's it for this show this week, don't you?
Sounds good. Yes, absolutely. Let's get out of
here. Twitter, it's at Top 10 Show. If you want to follow the show. If you'd like to become a patron, head over to patreon.com/the top 10 with the number 10. And on YouTube and Instagram, it is /the top 10 podcast with the number 10. So please hit us up on any of those. We'd love to have you interact with you. See you over there. And you can follow me at Matt Nost. Check out Settle the Score. We just had the Geek Buddies on on last week's show. So if you
Yes.
haven't listened to that, you can go back and listen to that.
A lot of fun.
A lot of contention.
Yeah.
And
Lot of
certain
fun.
individuals selectively didn't remember how the game was played and then distinctly knew exactly how the game was played. Seemed iffy as to their recall when they were forgetting and when they were remembering, but that's neither here nor there.
You know.
So please go check that out. And if you want some NBA action, dropping dimes anywhere you get podcasts. And that's it for me this week.
One quick question. Was the Keith Smart play dirty or not?
The Keith Smart
Marcus
play,
Smart. Was the Marcus Smart play dirty or not on Steph?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. All right.
I think it was one of those, like, it's just it
Hustle.
happens.
Yeah.
It happens. I don't think. Does Marcus have a history of flopping into dudes? Yes. Yes, he does.
Yeah.
Is this an instance of? No, I think he was fighting for the loose ball and it just happened to roll up on his ankle. And Steph is probably going to be out for the rest of the regular season, but they're anticipating him come back for the playoffs.
They've made the playoffs, so rest him up. Right?
Yeah.
Get Clay.
And actually, it behooves them to get out of having to play the Nuggets in the first round anyway. So if they drop down to the 4, that kind of help them.
That's a good point. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. As for me, you can follow me at The Roca Says on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. That's right. The old man's on TikTok. The Outlaw Nation on Twitch. And my other podcasts, The Cinephiles and The Geek Buddies. And and my YouTube channel, youtube.com/John Roca Says. Reviews, trailer reactions, all those shows happening there on the Outlaw Nation outlet. So thank you so much. And we will talk to you next time with another brand new episode here from the Top 10. Y'all take care. Be well. Peace.